Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. Today we're going to be casting a Zerg versus Protoss. Here in the top left, we have Sacsri. Sacsri obviously has done very well in ASL for some years now. And in fact, right now, he's really actually rising through the ranks of the Korean Pro Zergs. Recently, I believe he's become ranked within top 5 in their pro leagues, if I'm not mistaken. So he has really been leveling up, and he was already extremely strong. So that's exciting to see. I think that Sacsri, like, he's in, I think, like, every ASL for the last several years. And, you know, some great results in there, some great map wins. In fact, I believe one season he was the only player to take a map off of Flash, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to double check that. Maybe it was until the finals or something like that. But yeah, just a great player as of late. And of course, he's going up against one of the Protoss GOATs. It is BeSt. BeSt has been one of the top Protoss players in the world nonstop since 2006 or 7. Let's call it 2007 just to be safe. So that is like, he's the only player that can say that, by the way. Because all the other players like quit or went to StarCraft 2 or things like that. Like BeSt was and I mean, BeSt did play some StarCraft 2, of course. All the Kespa teams did make their players play some StarCraft 2, but BeSt really didn't spend any time as a StarCraft 2 pro. He just kind of went back pretty much immediately into the Brood War scene and has just been one of the world's best Protoss forever. And definitely one of the players, you know, Tasis and I have a short list of players where it's like, these guys should have won an ASL. This is messed up. And he's he's one of the top on that list for sure. For sure. At this point, it's like, what, him and Snow for the most part, where it's like, come on, guys. You guys deserve an ASL so bad. Anyways, he does scout Sacsri very, very quickly and putting just a little bit of harass. As you can see, he did this high ground pylon. This just makes your economy a bit better, so you don't have to travel all the way down and all the way back. And that does allow a gate in this position. And we'll be doing a little bit of Zealot pressure out across the map. Of course, his probe trying to harass during this as well. He's trying not to take too much hull damage. Did take a couple hits right there, which will make him a little bit more killable earlier on against some of the Zerglings. Gonna have to keep track of that, right? Because you do not want to suddenly get rushed or anything like that. Okay, so yeah, the Zealot coming across, and let's see what type of damage he can get done. There are 4 lings on the way, so that is enough to fight against this. As long as you're microing kind of nicely. Comes up, gonna go after some of these probes. Sacsri with good control so far. Ooh. Okay, we only have 1 really damaged drone. Ooh, he's got to be careful with that one, that's for sure. Oh! Sometimes you can like stack your drones and move forward and get a sick hit there. Okay, that was good control from Sacsri. He actually kills the probe super, super fast. And now it looks like BeSt has decided to dive in with the Zealot. Does not get the kill he was looking for right there. There is another Zealot. There is another Zealot. So I think right now what you're seeing, right, is he's running this around, seeing if he can get damage. And with the amount of lings that he sees out trying to surround this, he realizes, oh, these 2 will die too easily. So we're going to go home. We're going to defend with these while we're making the Nexus, get that cannon up, and what he'll probably do is move out at 4 Zealots again, right? He'll have his cannon up, and it could be 4, it could be 5, but those are the normal areas where you're going to end up moving out. Like, you want at least 4 walking across the map, because then they start to trade really, really well at that point. Now, we're going to see a cybernetics score go down here for BeSt. Of course, he's already got his gas up, going to start mining that ASAP. And does definitely want to get a cannon up. But of course, you want to get that at the last possible second as well. Is making these probes and hasn't started the cannon yet, but that's okay. It's not that many lings right now. He did send 1 Zealot out that's kind of doing some scouting. He sees the Overlord there, then instantly turns around. He's going to kind of go in almost a random direction. And there's like a lot of mind games which direction you might run in. But you basically don't want to be found because there's enough lings that they could force a kill on this. So he's now bringing it back up to join with these 2 Zealots that have walked out, and they're going to kind of protect their buddy. And here we go. 2 more coming. So this is the 5 I was talking about before. Like, I know that these 3 are out a little bit further. It's because of the sneak tactic he was using. He was just saving it. You're going to see that he wants to join his Zealots together. The Zealots, when they're joined together, you get less surface area with the Lings. So very good move here from BeSt. Moving forward with those 5, and it's going to take a hell of a lot more than 12 Zerglings to kill all these. So right now we have 4 more Zerglings on the way. Zergling speed is coming as well. Ooh, takes a little hit there. Sacsri backing up. BeSt going for the ramp, but the drones drill, so he turns. Very good turn there from BeSt. If he had gotten on top of those drones, oh God, the drones are going to be able to drill him so well here. And in fact, they do. You can see all the Zealots getting split up. This is a big issue right now. And you can see that almost no damage dealt. Excellent defense here from Sacsri. Excellent defense. The 2 Zealots going to run back towards this mineral line. And, well, oof, he does get a drone. But overall, we have to call this an A+ defense from Sacsri, I think. I think the first turnaround from BeSt was just super fantastic. And then to try to go up that ramp again when Sacsri already showed he was on top of the drone pole, that was a painful one. So excellent defense. So 3 bases are up, adding another hatch. So we're getting into 5 hatchery, and this is a Hydra's Den as opposed to, you know, the spire that you normally see with the layer. Now, normally what you see with that is quick overlord speed. We don't see that as of yet, but I think he'll probably start that very, very soon. We have Hydralisk speed on the way, but again, not the overlord speed quite yet. Over in BeSt space, he is making some Corsairs. I don't know how many he's going to make. You know, it has... I feel like when you play against this, you do have to make sure you're getting your storm out as quickly as possible. And of course, we have seen some players still really preferring to have a good, decent clump of Corsairs, but we'll see if he goes beyond 3. I don't think he's going to. I think he's going to stop and go into gates. So the 3rd is out, and we don't see another one being started. And there you go. You can see gates being added on the production tab there, right? So that's what it is. He is stopping on the 3. He is adding those, and we should see the Templar Archives pretty quickly as well. There it is. So yeah, I approve of the way BeSt is playing this game. I think that these are basically all the right choices that he's making, other than running the Zealots up the ramp. So a lot of drones coming out right now. Sacsri also fielding a few Hydras in here. Those are more anti-Corsair than anything else. Plus ranged attack, Overlord speed, plus Hydra range, all on the way. The few remaining Lings still kind of sitting out here, watching for anything that may leave the base. Another pylon going down so we can add more gates as well. Right now on 4, that is going to allow him to make a lot of Zealots to move out on the map with. He is still getting that Corsair attack upgrade. And I think it is fine to let that finish. You may actually want more Corsairs later if your opponent adds a Spire. And normally they do add a Spire. They don't have to make mutas, but it can be strong to switch into mutas later on if your opponent did not make too many Corsairs. A DT is on the way, as well as Psystorm and some High Templars. +1 is done on these Zealots as well. Looks like Sacsri going to come over with some of these very speedy Hydras at the moment. But Zealots with legs going to run out here and start to fight. They do have +1, so the Lings are just absolutely nothing to them. They are shredding those Lings in a matter of seconds. And yeah, not a great engage there from Sacsri. Definitely don't feel like that was as good an engage as he could have taken. Probably just wanted to run there the entire time. And he is running back home. I don't think that this is enough Zealots to do any permanent damage over here, right? He got rid of some Lings. He pushed everything back. He did add 1 cannon, but honestly, did he even need that? Not entirely sure about that right now. The Hydras regroup with some reinforcements and do force those those Zealots back. Those are some beefy Lings. And, of course, Lurker upgrade on the way. So everything going pretty normally on both sides. Gotta say, I'm a fan of the quick Dragoon range as soon as +1 for Corsairs is done. Going up here to a total of 8 gates, which is what you love to see. We'll see how many High Templars. Right now he has 3. Generally, you want 4. You know, 4 is kind of the magic number for the kind of early game. You get 4 out, you let them build up their energy, and that's going to give you enough storms that you feel like you can kind of fight against anything. Now, Zealots coming in here. Yeah, not the best place. One thing I do want to note is not only did he go for Lurkers, but he's actually going for quick Overlord drops. So that's something that's a little bit different. You don't always see that with this. You do see that with this build sometimes, but not always. So now that we're going to have drops, the thing about drops here is, well, you could have like a lurker drop, right? There's two different types of drops. One is just targeting the economy with a couple lurkers, and the other is a mass drop into the main. The lurker drop could be the way that he's going to go here. I'll talk more about that in a minute because we do have these zealots coming out and actually engaging onto the hydralisks pretty heavily. Actually, a better engagement there for Sacsri as BeSt does decide to turn around. By the way, he is only on, and he did go up to 9 gates. Ooh, that's interesting. But he is only on 3 High Templars, which is, I find that fascinating as well because he does have the extra gas bank. So he could have made more, but there might actually, like, these guys have their builds so ironed down. And this is something I've talked about a hell of a lot in Protoss vs. Zerg is I love this heavy Dragoon mid-game. It's something that Rain really, I feel like, pushed forward the last time he had a deep run in ASL. But yeah, I love to see that. It's a ton of Dragoons being made. He's literally making 9 Dragoons at a time, right? So he's sitting here on 58 probes, which is super saturation for 2 bases, pumping the Dragoons. He's going to have 6 Psy Storms to go with those as well. Because he does, and there is that lurker drop, by the way. He just caught it with those Corsairs, so that paid off magnificently, having those Corsairs there. Man, that's actually really big. There is another lurker drop coming around the other way. But Dragoons are kind of sitting here waiting, so I don't know that Sacsri's going to be able to get that in. Dude, I got to tell you what. BeSt is playing out of his mind. And I'm a big Sacsri fan. Sacsri's a fantastic player. BeSt is playing out of his mind right now. Like, he caught both of the lurker drops. Look at his macro. He's at 140 against 88. 140 against 88. That's absurd. He's going to have 6 Psy Storms, and it's only going to take about 30 seconds for him to have 3 more, because these are basically maxed out on energy. He throws down this 3rd Nexus. There's no chance of killing this 3rd Nexus. The Zealot's coming up to join this massive Dragoon force. He's got 2 Observers already, not afraid of Lurkers one bit. Sacsri, what are you going to do here? Oh, he's loading up Overlords as BeSt's army is moving towards him. He's got to be very careful about that. All right, pulls these 3 Overlords to the side. 1 Corsair is here. This could be a problem. Sacsri takes the high ground. I want to watch both these locations. Okay, he does go for the drop. Now, he pulls back from the center. Sacsri going to drop the natural. Very quick pull of every single probe that's not in gas. And he is going to be able to go up here and clean this all out. Brings his Observers up immediately. Tries to pick off the Overlords with those Corsairs, but the Corsairs do end up falling. By the way, a Spire is coming up. The only thing I can think he wants to do with that Spire, by the way, is Mutalisks. And there's so many Dragoons, I don't know that that's a good choice. Now, more Photon Cannons being made up here to protect him from further Lurker drops. Sacsri has caught up in supply a little bit during this time. But don't forget, he is on 3 base. He's finished his 4th in the bottom right, but we don't see drones down there yet. Little force of Hydra Lurker coming down. He's trading for whatever goons he can get. But again, very efficient here for BeSt. He's doing a great job. Just starting to get some drones down there. Big roaming army here for Sacsri. I think he wants to make sure that BeSt doesn't enter into the south part of the map. If he does, that 4th base could be forfeit. So starts attacking up here again. Ooh, a Psy Storm there would be so juicy. Oh my god. Oh, and a lurker drop at the same time. BeSt. Oh, Zest. Oh my god, I miss him. BeSt does lose just a small amount of probes there. It looks like he lost about 7 probes to that drop before I caught it. Sorry about that. But I thought that we were going to have some fireworks in the bottom. But of course, that's what these pro gamers are trying to do to each other as well, right? If you can draw the attention somewhere, you can deal damage elsewhere, and that can be such a strong move. Now, BeSt putting down some more cannons, really defending that 3rd base, adding in more High Templars here as well. His army looks so fearsome. The Queen's Nest just started for Sacsri, so we're a ways off of getting a real counter to the Dragoons. The real counter, of course, being a Defiler. Between Plague and Darkswarm, Dragoons become almost useless against Hive Tech. Cracklings as well, right? Like, pretty much everything. But, yeah, it looks like a counterattack coming down on this 3rd base. A strong idea here from Sacsri. Moving in, putting these Lurkers down so it's hard to follow his army in. And he's going to be able to target down this Nexus. The Nexus is going to fall. He is going to knock BeSt down to 2 bases. Now, BeSt is going to kill a big chunk of Sacsri's army. He's able to throw down some Psy Storms here. Looks like a nice little snipe there onto the High Templar. In fact, the other one gets sniped too. Very good micro. So let's go over what we just saw there. He ran up. He made it hard to come up to clear out the army, but he targeted down the Nexus, got rid of the third base, and he targeted down 2 High Templars with his army. Okay, so we're at 115 against 151, but look at these mineral patches. We're pretty much out in the main. The natural's almost gone. BeSt was probably thinking more about taking a 4th base than having to retake his 3rd. So that is a huge issue. In the meantime, Sacsri has drones down here. He's sending some defense as well. I think he's setting up just in a defensive position because he knows he has an advantage where BeSt needs to attack in, right? Sacsri just traded army over here for economy. So what that means is right now, for sure, the better army goes to BeSt, but the better economy goes to Sacsri. So generally what will occur is a counterattack. Because you have a better army, you want to then damage them, whether that's through exacerbating that army difference or going for the economy and evening that up in some way, or maybe even taking an advantage. But as is, BeSt is actually, well, he's choosing to play very carefully here. He's taking, obviously his 3rd Nexus got started immediately while the Hydras were still there. And he made a 4th Nexus. He's throwing down a bunch of cannons as well. He's kind of roaming this part of the map. Notice a second piece of his army sitting here. This is the area where he can most slow down Sacsri if there's a frontal attack coming in. And then the rest of his army is roaming the bottom, which kind of defends this entry point and this entry point, right? So those are the only 3 entry points into his part of the map. So he's doing a great job with this roaming army, as you can see. He's moving down here. Might threaten trying to kill this base. Now, if he commits all the way into this base, there is no chance that Sacsri does not either flank or counterattack. Sacsri will be having to make a giant move. So he comes in, forces a cancel, and look how he turns around immediately. This is the right play for BeSt. Like 99 times out of 100 is to turn around the second you cancel this. Fighting up here is cost and inefficient. It's going to take forever. In the great words of Tasteless, if you can't kill a base, don't kill it. Okay? Don't kill it. To attack up here, I think, is foolhardy. If he attacks up here, I think Sacsri is going to make a huge move. Well, he has to, basically. He has to. Here come the observers. So it does look like BeSt wants to attack up here. So the 2 options Sacsri has. 1, flank this army. 2, counterattack. He just has to do one of those things very quickly. So here is this attack. This is going to take, again, a very long time to make it up this hill. And here we go. Sacsri, a lot of army moving out. Look at this. Look at the mini-map. Look at the Zerg swarms coming over towards his 3rd base location. BeSt starts to pull back. He realizes, uh-oh, most of my army is down here. Now, he does have Psy Storms to slow Sacsri. Throws some of these Psy Storms down. Sacsri turns around. Okay, as Sacsri sees this army coming up for the flank, honestly, this army has no chance. He should run back. Don't forget, though, he left a lot of his army at home. Okay? He is taking another base here, so this is going to be his 5th base location. So he's going up to 5 base against the 4 of BeSt. Obviously, 4 base Protoss can beat 5 base Zerg, but if you play a good Defiler style, you can play like basically even bases against Protoss for a while. So right now, a big attack into this 5th base location. I think that this is an excellent timing here from BeSt to hit this just before it finishes. It looks like he's going to get some insane storms here. Look at those storms going down, hitting multiple lurkers, tons of Hydras, tons of Lings, just being absolutely shredded. The lurker is going to start to move forward here. Yeah, they're going to come up, get a burrow down, and flank this army. And with all these Zerglings coming in, man, yeah, and they have the crack upgrade as well. Those Adrenal Lings coming in, just destroying these Dragoons. We do have a reinforcing army here, maybe to try to help a bit, but it's mostly High Templars. So he's getting some good storms down, but like there's not anything to cover the retreat other than the storms themselves. Well, I mean, that's hilarious. He actually literally kills every single chasing unit with storms. You do want to save these, though. You don't want to be losing all these High Templars. Like, at least make Archons. At least make Archons. Oh, he loses a lot of the High Templars. Don't know that that was worth it. And you can see the supply differential closing, right? We were at like 185 for BeSt before. He's at 142. He's run out of minerals here. He's run out of minerals here. So he's on 2 base economy here once again. He does have some good upgrades with +2/+3 with +3 attack on the way. In the meantime, 1-2 on the Lings and 2-2 on the ranged units here for Sacsri. He does have the triple Evo, but not all upgrading at the moment. Now, we have storms coming down. This is one of the rally points, so everything's pretty clumped up. The flank of Zealots is awesome. Size storms going down everywhere. The flank of Lurkers as well as Dark Storms coming out. He will do a retreating attack here, if that makes sense, right? Like he's grinding everything down as he retreats, making sure he's dealing maximum damage, kills 1 million Lurkers, and will start to pull back. Whew, I am just about out of breath. We have 12 o'clock being taken here from BeSt, but can he hold on to it? Sacsri's economy is really starting to kick in here. He's got great production going down, great upgrades here as well. Those Adrenalings just make such a difference at this point in the game. Throwing down Darkstorm, burrowing some Lurkers in here. That means the Dragoons can't deal any damage. Archons don't do well either. They do deal some damage on a Darkstorm, but not full. Their actual primary attack doesn't do anything. But we do have the Size Storm. We do have some Zealots as well. So you see a lot of storms being thrown down. But honestly, it's like the storms are killing like 1 unit at a time under here. And I don't know that that's all that valuable. Now, a Plague goes down on some of these very valuable units. Obviously, it just makes the Archons look cooler. Honestly, like the Zerglings that you eat to make the Plague deal more damage to the Archon than the Plague does to the Archon. Just throw that out there. Obviously, if the Plague is hitting other things, it's worth it. But if it's just Archons, no, it's actually not. Anyways, yeah, another Plague goes down. Going to start engaging with these Adrenalings. They do have +2 attack now. Plasma Shield's coming up for BeSt as he finishes up his 3-3 on his regular attack and armor. Some more great storms going down. We have a probe down here. This is very important that we see this right now because realistically, if you're not going to kill Sacsri very, very soon, you're going to need another base. Like, it's just as simple as that. And some Lings are being sent down there, so that is going to be a problem. Now, BeSt attacking up into this 5th base location. It's very well defended with the spread Lurkers. That's going to slow things out. Well, it doesn't really slow it down because BeSt just attack moves into it anyways. And his units are doing a great job. He's crushing through everything. He's going to be able to get this hatchery. And down goes the 5th base. So now we got to check minerals here for Sacsri. This is not something we do as often for Zerg. But he's getting low everywhere, man. He's got to get this base up. He's got to keep it alive. These mineral patches good. These ones still good as well. A lot of cannons in here. Man, if there was 1 Dark Swarm, this would be a dead base. Oh, it might be anyways? He killed the pylon. That is not a thing in StarCraft 1. Pylons have so much more health. But yeah, he does actually get it this time. Doesn't really change things very much. All right, BeSt backs out. Dude, 162 supply. What are we doing here? BeSt macro is out of control. I can't believe the size of the army that he has here, despite how many armies he's lost. Now, it looks like he wants to hit the new 5th base, which is the best possible move that he could do. Look at this. If he can kill this base, this game actually, I think, goes to him if he kills that base. Like, Sacsri needs this. You can't be mining off 1 base, and I showed already, the minerals are basically gone at the other locations. So here we go. We do have Dark Swarms that can be cast. He casts 1 Dark Swarm immediately. Some very good Size Storms go down. Obviously, the Dragoon's not doing anything here, but between Archon Size Storm, he is going to be able to cut through these Lurkers, it looks like. Look at that. There's just way too much melee damage here from BeSt. And I think he's going to cut through everything at this point, even cutting into the high ground. What a game that we have here. What a game. BeSt versus Sacsri. Absolutely loving it. Insane, insane, insane macro game. A lot of great attacks, a lot of great counterattacks. Unbelievable macro coming out of BeSt. But I think that's it. I mean, we only have Lings being made by Sacsri. He's at 47 supply. 34 of which is drones, so nothing left for him to do here. And BeSt will take him down. Amazing PvZ. Hope you guys enjoyed.